And yes, and we are live. So good morning, or I should be saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, because we are on all different time zones in this world. It's morning for me, and it's afternoon, if
Afternoon for
you
me.
believe, for our wonderful guest, Nicole Crowley, who I'm really excited. And I'd just like to take a first moment just to honor Nicole and thank Nicole, because Nicole is one of our amazing sponsors of Harmony Fest. So, Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. What I'd love to do is just to start with you. Would you like to just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about LumiVite? I don't even know if I'm saying it.
LumiVitae.
Thank you. LumiVitae. There you go. Yeah, tell us a little bit about you and how did you get into
Sure.
what what you're passionate about?
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am so grateful to be here. I am on a path of really helping people step into higher expansion. I'm an emotional resonance clearing practitioner, a wealth alchemy practitioner that involves five element theory, neurolinguistic programming, energy meridian clearing, naturopathic guidance, chakra work, and dimension work. I'm an Akashic practitioner. I'm also a Seishim healer, which is an ancient Egyptian form of healing. I do angelic light language, angelic light weaving. I speak light language. I work with so many different modalities. The one thing that is my main focus right now, and it was a soul yes the moment I was brought to it, is LumiVitae, which actually means light of life. So this is the LumiVitae cell power bottle. And now I'll back it up a little bit and say how I was brought to this. So I was hit by a drunk driver 23 years ago. And I was in rehab for my back for 4.5 years. I was told by five doctors I wasn't going to walk again. I was treated as a number and I was just told to collect disability. And 6 months after my accident, I woke up and I had the download of the book, The Secret. And that's when I started turning to gratitude just a little bit. I was in chronic pain for 19 years. My car accident triggered neurocardiogenic syncope syndrome, which is a heart condition for me. And I collapsed 3 to 5 times a week for 12 years. Throughout all of this, I never, ever, ever claimed any title that was placed upon me or any imbalance that was placed upon me. I continue to always believe that there was bigger and better for me, that I would get back to my modeling career, that I would get back to my friends, that I would get back to my boyfriend, which ended up breaking up with me. So whatever. Um, but that I would get back to my life in Chicago. I lived downtown Chicago. I had a condo right downtown. I had what I thought was the life that should have been my spiritual awakening. That was not. It wasn't until the world went into a state of darkness with the pandemic that I was like, oh my gosh, I have a story to share. Because through 19 years of chronic pain, I continue to manifest what I desire. I continue to go back to teaching dance. I continue to focus on having a life where I can breathe without crying. I believed it so truly. And I was like, I need to share this story. And I started sharing my story and I would get 500, 600 followers. And that was beautiful. And I was excited. And I was like, yay, I'm a motivational speaker. But it was one person that changed everything for me. And she was my friend that I thought had everything together. And she called me and she was like, Nicole, I actually couldn't get out of bed in the morning until I heard you speak. And that's when I realized, because during the accident, I actually had a 40-foot light pole come crashing at me and miss me by 5 inches on my right side. So I was like, that's why I was saved. I was saved because I have a message. I have a story. I am here to inspire, awaken, empower, ignite passion in people to really step into living their highest potential, to stepping into living their heaven on earth experience, to living infinite reality. Like that is my message. That is my frequency. That's what I emit to the world. And it's evolved so much in the last 4.5 years. But so that the motivational speaking brought me to the world of quantum frequencies. At that time, I didn't even know what chakras were. And quantum frequencies brought me to the community where I met the woman that I got certified as an emotional resonance clearing practitioner under. But the inventor of that device, the co inventor of that device, is who invented this device. So, to make a long story short, I was called to Portugal to be at the spiritual retreat, and I ended up helping run the entire retreat because the event manager couldn't make it in. And I used to entertain Chinese delegates when they came to Chicago. I've had a lot of different corporate jobs, all sorts of things. A lot of healers, I believe, go through that path. We try to find our place, and then we realize we've been a healer all along, right? And when I was brought to Portugal and I was introduced to the possibility of the sun, water, and the earth bringing us into internal homeostasis, my soul was like, this is it. This is what you were born for. This is it. Like I had a download. My full angelic came in when I was in Lisbon. I came to the floor. I saw my angel wings. It was so magical. And I was shown that there was like this purple flower with 9 petals that came from me. And it turned into golden liquid light. And those 9 petals each turned into another flower. And that turned into 9 petals, that golden liquid light. And then I saw the entire earth covered in a sphere of golden liquid light. That was before this was even birthed. At that time, I was introduced to the prototype before LumiVitae was birthed. And LumiVitae means light of life. So when I connected to that, I was like, I just started bawling and I was like, that's what I had the download of. I am meant to bring liquid light to the world. Like it was just such a profound and magical, magical moment. So that is how I was brought to this amazing vessel that has completely changed my life, my children's lives, and everybody that I've touched with it, I guess.
Oh my, like what an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that,
Yeah.
Nicole. And like you are an inspiration. And I just like to get, like you never know what's going to happen, even in such a traumatic experience of your accident.
Yeah.
Look what came out of it and stuff. Sometimes it takes the, accidents to happen so we can really be awakened or touched or to realize our greater power that's
Yeah.
within. Thank you so much for
Of
sharing
course.
that. I've got lots of questions, so let's just see. But I'd
Sure.
love to go back with something that you mentioned. I picked up. You talked about the earth, the water, and the moon in your body,
Yeah.
in the bottle. Tell us more about that.
Sure. So the inventor, Nuno Nina, he
Yeah.
was actually born autistic, and
Right.
his best friend was electricity. And he can see frequencies in nature. He can look at you and say, you had this traumatic experience 3 years ago. You did this. You should have done this. You got in a fight with your best friend 2 weeks ago. You're doing this. We need to do this. Like he can literally look at you and see everything. So his whole life, the sun, electricity, and the earth were his holy trinity. And then he actually created the time waver device, which is this giant frequency device. He worked with clients for 26 years. And then he has an integrative medicine clinic in Portugal. And he started working with over 70,000 clients. But he discovered that hydration was the missing piece. When the
Mm,
cell is properly hydrated, then everything you do, frequency, mindset, crystals, nutrient intake, everything is more impactful. So
mm,
he realized that water was the missing piece. So this device actually, it has an electrolysis process in the base that creates therapeutic levels of molecular hydrogen dissolved gas into the water. But then because of his connection with frequencies, and he can see the truth of what is, not what science states it to be, there are frequencies in the lid that mimic the frequency bands, the exact frequency bands from the sun that are responsible for energy, recovery, and life force energy. So LumiVitae is the frequency that is the exact wavelength of frequency from the sun that is responsible for photosynthesis when it works with fourth phase water.
mhm,
So this literally imprints liquid light into the water. And then there are meticulously calibrated natural magnets in the base that mimic the magnetic field of the earth, the Schumann resonance.
yes,
So you have, when you activate it, it's creating therapeutic levels of molecular hydrogen dissolved gas. It's imprinting the frequencies into the water, and it is awakening and enlivening with the grounding aspect of the earth. So it's like an entire biosphere. And he discovered that the most important thing, because molecular hydrogen, the science of it is out there. There's over 3,000 peer-reviewed published studies supporting its potential with over 172 different disease protocols. So when he discovered that there was this hydration piece that was missing, he started upping the parts per million of molecular hydrogen with his clients in the water. And he wasn't getting the results he was looking for. He wasn't getting the immediate results that he was expecting. And so that's when he started working with the different aspects. That's when he started adding in the frequencies and playing with the magnets, as well as discovering a specific golden ratio of hydrogen to how alkaline or acidic it is, the water, hydrogen to the electron potential in the water, which is the RH2, hydrogen to the ORP, which is the oxidation reduction potential, which is the potential of minimizing oxidative stress. So when he started working with those factors and manipulating those, that's when he found the perfect golden ratio. And it was like this with his clients. It was exactly what he was looking for. And that's what this bottle creates. So it's pretty amazing.
It is. It is very, very, very amazing. And I can see
Yeah.
why you're so passionate about it and stuff.
Yeah.
And how much good it does, how great it is. Now, is it just normal, like you can use just normal tap water?
No, so you don't use tap water. So I'm glad that you asked that question. You use spring water or filtered water. There's a specific, it's like a good, better, best. The
Yes.
best water is water that is between the pH of 4.2 and 6.2, so acidic. And then the total dissolved solid between 20 and 50. But it's a matter of good, better, best. So if people can't access water that, doesn't have a pH lower than 7, then they can use a 7. It just means that they might have to wash it a couple more times. To clean this, it's very simple. You literally there's a 3-minute, a 6-minute, and a 9-minute cycle for the
Mhm.
water, depending on the oxidative state of the body, the reductive state of the body. And then actually you can activate larger amounts, which I'll get to in a moment. But to clean it, all you do is you take the lid off, you
Mhm.
put the 9-minute on, you put hot water in with either lemon drops or food grade acidic acid, and you're good.
And
So
good,
it's very simple to clean as well.
good, good, wonderful.
Yeah. And then with that, it's really important because I just mentioned the 369. So everything that Nuno does is focused on the natural cycles of the earth, the moon, the sun, as well as his focus is 5-element theory. So fire, earth, metal, water, wood, and yin and yang, and the spirits, Shen, Yi, Ho, Ji, and Hun, because that's what I work with as well.
Yes.
And so the yin aspect of your body, that's the receiving, that's the feminine, that's the relax and recovery. So you do that in the afternoon and evening. And then the yang, which is the sun, the masculine, the action, that's what you do in the morning, which is the 3-minute cycle. And then you can actually twist off the base and you
Mhm.
can activate larger amounts. You can activate 1 liter, 1.5 liters. Every single aspect of this vessel was meticulously handcrafted by Nuno Nina.
Yes.
So the exact amount right here, 330 milliliters, is the exact amount of therapeutic molecular hydrogen water that your body can fully process every 30 minutes. So there's a reason for everything.
Everything. Not a
Yeah.
problem. Wonderful. Wonderful. Great stuff. Now, and your stall album, which we've put in the comments everywhere, that gives you more information on how people can access your bottle and purchase it, no matter where they are in the world.
Yes. Yep. The link is there.
Yes.
And it's important to note one thing that I did not mention. So the electrolysis process is
Yes.
normally very dirty. It
Right.
can create arsenic, it can create heavy metals, it can create all sorts of organic material that you do not want in your body.
Sure.
And so that's why he put 15 years of research and development, ensuring the perfect vessel, that every single drop is pure and safe and clean for the body. Because I'll go into the science of molecular hydrogen in a minute.
Yes.
But he took the world's strongest proton exchange membrane and he improved upon it. So there is the strongest proton exchange membrane in the world in this vessel. And what that does is it prevents any byproducts that could be created in the electrolysis process from going in and accessing the water. It also allows you to activate cold water as well as hot water up to 100 degrees Celsius. So I
Okay.
do like my hot, I activate the water and then I make my naturopathic tea and all that. But he
Yes.
also, a majority of products out there, this is not a white label product. This is not a product that is just made because hydrogen is popular. This is used in clinic with his patients, which I love. But he created the way for electrolysis to be ignited with only 2.3 volts, which when we got the third party certification by IHSA, the scientists were shocked that he was able to do that. So there's so much that he's done. Oh, and then every metallic aspect of the base is titanium and platinum coated so that even 10 years down the road, there's no metal leakage whatsoever. And this has a 7-year shelf life,
Yep.
but he's had his for 15 years.
Good. Good. Thank you. I was just turning that down when we've got that thing and thinking like we don't want to be disturbed. And I was just turning my phone off. I forgot to do it beforehand. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. So this is so interesting. And I'd love to know what's the first benefit that
Yeah. I would love to go into the benefits. That would be
Yes,
great.
yes,
Yeah. So molecular hydrogen, like I said, it has a potential to support over 172 different disease protocols.
yes.
Molecular hydrogen is actually known as the miracle molecule, the God molecule. And it's because of two main aspects. It's the smallest molecule there is. It's the most abundant molecule in the entire universe. It's the base of every periodic element. It's the base of the ignition of, the Big Bang. It's everything. But because of its tiny, tiny size, when you drink this water, it's able to come into the body. It's able to go into those spaces that nothing else can get to, including the cell. So it goes through the cell membrane into the cell. The very first thing it does is it increases your mitochondrial output. So it increases your chemical energy because the mitochondria are the power plant of the body. And so now you have more energy to do every physiological function that your body needs to do, including igniting cell signaling pathways to create an enzyme to create a protein, including so many other things. And then molecular hydrogen also acts as a selective intelligent antioxidant. So it comes into the body and it reduces the damaging free radicals and keeps the good. It reduces the damaging oxidative stress and keeps the good. It reduces the damaging inflammation and keeps the good. It knows exactly what to do. It acts as a conductor in the body. It comes in and it analyzes what's going on, and then it upregulates, it downregulates, it increases things. It works with a specific cell signaling pathway called the NRF2 pathway that is responsible for creating and regulating over 200 different protective proteins in the body. It has the capability, because of its size, to cross the blood-brain barrier. So now we're talking about neuroprotective aspects. It is known as a anti-inflammatory, anti-cellular death, anti-aging. It works with the increasing telomere production because, well, your telomeres are, when it comes to anti-aging and telomeres are kind of like protective caps at the end of the chromosome. If you imagine a shoestring with plastic caps,
Yes.
and every time a cell divides, the chromosomes break down just a tiny bit, but the telomeres, the protective caps, is what prevents that. So when the body is able to reduce oxidative stress, then the damaging cell and the oxidative stress isn't able to attack the telomeres to pretty much destroy them, which is what leads to the chromosomes breaking apart and mutation and all that stuff. So molecular hydrogen is known as being able to help the telomeres, but also eating foods straight from their source. So with this, like I said, there's a frequency that is the same wavelength as the sun that is responsible for life force energy. So you can actually put this onto raw fruits and vegetables and bring them back to their natural source. Bring them back to the energy level as if they were just plucked from the tree. So
Okay.
that's increasing the telomere, that's increasing the strength of the telomeres as well. And there's
Yeah.
so many other things. I put a document in my LumiVitae
Oh,
stall that explains. I mean, there's so many different things.
oh, it's like, yes, it's incredible, isn't it? Especially when you go into the science of it and also the natural, you know, just how it can replicate nature.
Yes.
What we get in nature, you can't get anything better than what we get in nature. Especially when we're able to get things from trees that haven't been sprayed with, chemicals and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. I didn't know. You wouldn't have never think that you can put a water bottle, part of a water.
Right. Yeah. It's a device that turns good water into therapeutic water,
Yes, yes, but
but
you
it
could.
does so much more. It's my number one manifestation tool, because knowing that the water is getting through the cell membrane into the cell, and each body has 50 trillion to 70 trillion cells, well, we know that water holds memory, it imprints information. So then I speak what I desire to create into the water with that belief. As I drink it, I embody it in my heart and my soul. And then I sit in visualization and I become that truth.
Yes.
And my life, I mean, I have a magical life ever since this beautiful vessel came into my life.
So, sounds very, very interesting. And again, for everyone who's watching, whether it's live or replay, do click on the links below. Check out Nicole's virtual stall album, and and grab one of these bottles. I mean, they're incredible. I'm going to, even now, even if people are all over the world, they can still be sent.
Oh,
So,
yes. Yeah, we're active in 44 countries. I have 167 people on my team from all over the world. There's a
oh,
beautiful beautiful business opportunity with this as well. And this is the hero product. There's more coming. He's consistently inventing and bringing the products that he's been working with his clients out into the world. So there's a lot more to come.
Good stuff. Love to know more, and I will certainly be checking it out very, very soon. And I'd love
Yeah.
to know, like, is there anything else, Nicole, that you would like to share?
Yeah. A little bit about my testimonial with the water, perhaps,
Please do.
because I've had so many things. There's a Facebook testimonial that I believe I put the link to, but I'll make sure it's in the stall. But I mean, I used to have neurocardiogenic syncope syndrome that happened 3 to 5 times a week. And recently, it's been about probably every 6 months I might have an episode. And I had an episode about 3 months ago. And my lips and my cheeks get numb. And then I have a couple minutes before I sink to the floor. And then I have no energy. And then I go into panic attack. And then that triggers a migraine. And then I start to shake, like all sorts of stuff. And I was starting to have an episode, and my husband brought over the bottle, and I activated it and I drank it. And within 5 minutes, I was fine. I didn't sink to the floor. 10 minutes, no sinking to the floor. 20 minutes, I was like, oh my gosh. So I could not believe that it stopped my heart episode in its tracks. This is my personal testimonial. I have to preface that it doesn't cure, treat, or prevent any disease. What it does is it brings the body into internal homeostasis and harmony and balance so that the body can step into the self mastery vehicle that it always has been. But then there's like a time that I had a poisonous spider bite, and my whole leg went red and it started like white welts and everything. And within 3 bottles, it was completely reversed. And then I've been gluten sensitive all my life, and I'm no longer gluten sensitive. And I mean, I don't use any skincare. I don't use anything. I only use the water. There's so many other testimonials, but I'm like, I can't even remember right now how many I've like.
Isn't that amazing? You're walking proof of
I
what
am.
but your type of water that's being, that's got the molecular, I can't even say it at the moment
It's
because,
okay.
uh,
Molecular hydrogen.
thank you.
Yes.
Because I'm a little bit, and now I think I need some of your water. So tell me, how does it work, or what's the effect on it if you ever get really tired? Does that
If
help
what?
if you get tired? Do
Oh, yes. Oh, it's
you ever,
amazing with that. So because it increases your chemical energy, so it increases your energy.
yes,
So the frequency energy, so you would activate it for 3 minutes and then activate the energy frequency and then you're good. But what I love is that it doesn't make you jittery. It's not like you're like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's just a neutral state.
yeah,
So I love that it does that. So yeah, it helps a lot with fatigue, with energy. And what's so beautiful is it works on the root cause. It's communicating with your body. So it's
yeah,
working on the root cause of whatever imbalance you're experiencing. So if you have fatigue in the afternoon, well, that could actually be an imbalance in the stomach or spleen because that's connected to the earth element. There's so many different things, but it's just like it starts to work on the root cause. So sometimes people are like, oh, I can't wait until, this helps with my headaches or whatever. But then they realize they're like, oh my gosh, I no longer have any hormonal issues. Wait, I don't have that either. And this and this. It's just like it works on everything.
yes. Well, I'm checking out your stall as we speak because I'm certainly going to be looking
Oh, awesome.
but a lot more. It sounds wonderful because I have a lot of I was born with a genetic condition, and look, I'm so great. I'm actually so grateful for this condition, and it's nowhere. I'm not going to say bad, but there are so many other people that experience a lot more challenges than I do. But if you're talking about something that can help with energy and
Oh
something
yeah.
helps with, with everything on the inside, then
Yeah,
I'm really interested. I'm going to be checking it out. So thank you ever so much for this. And
absolutely.
for everyone who is watching, do check out Nicole's stall. It sounds so wonderful, Nicole. I'm going to go order a bottle for myself and then come back at however long. Now, this is a good question. When someone first starts to use the bottle and starts drinking the water, how quickly can they expect to experience results?
So it depends on everybody's imbalance.
Yes.
Somebody who is pretty aligned and connected to their body. I mean, I felt it at the very first sip.
Okay.
And for me, it was euphoric. I
Oh,
did the LumiVitae frequency as my first thing, and I was brought into theta state as if I meditated for 2 hours. It was just like my body was breathing finally. My body was like, thank you. Because the water we used to have 2000 years ago in nature, that hydrated us. But now there's so many contaminants and so many things, and it doesn't have that specific three-phase formula, that golden ratio, so it's not able to get into the cells. So when the cells are properly hydrated, they're like, oh, thank you. I can function now. I can support you now. I can exist now. Thank you. Thank you. And that's the thing is like sometimes I'll actually drink the water and I'll feel like a little bit of tension in certain areas of my body. And I'll think and I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's working on the scarring from my invasive endometriosis. I can tell, like sometimes I can actually feel, but I'm a medical intuitive. So I'm very, very embodied. Um, but yeah. But yeah, so it depends on everybody's imbalance. Everybody will probably experience a difference in their life within the first 2 to 3 weeks, but some people feel it immediately. And then some people, it takes a little bit longer because, like I said, if there's a ton of imbalance and it's working on the root cause, then it's not working on the surface level stuff. It's working on the main, like the trauma and things like that.
Yeah. That sounds very interesting. Certainly,
Yeah.
I certainly will be checking it out and things like that,
Awesome.
especially if
Yeah.
you,
I have the gold one and the charcoal one.
yeah, which is wonderful. Really,
These
really,
are the two that are available.
yes.
And then when you earn, there's an opportunity to earn this one, but no,
Okay.
you can't just purchase this one, but these are for purchase.
Okay. And the one that you can't purchase, is that any different from the other one? The other
No, no,
one,
no. It's exact same, just different color.
just different color. And you can
And then
only,
mine has the inventor and the CEO's signature on the back.
oh, okay, sure, sure. Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Thank you ever so much, Nicole, for coming on. It has been a real pleasure and very interesting. Like,
Yeah, I love educating people that this exists. So many people don't know that this even exists and what's to come. Oh my gosh, I was bawling my eyes out when I heard what's to come.
I
The
know.
inventions to come are going to completely change the world.
Yes, yes, totally. And I agree with that. And it's really amazing, like they say that we need to drink however much water, 1.5 liters water, roughly. But
Yep.
yet that's still not hydrating the cells.
Right.
It's
And
still not.
we actually had a live blood analysis. I'll put the video of it actually in here because
Yes.
we saw instantly cells that were in Brillo, so they were dehydrated, and then white blood cells where you couldn't even see the nucleus. And then we had somebody drink 3 bottles with recovery, and instantly with a live blood analysis, you could see the cells now plumped up, racing across the screen. You could see the nucleus in the white blood cells. You could actually see in the blood plasma the nasties that were in the red blood cells were now in the blood plasma. So now they could get detoxed out with like red light therapy or whatever the person would be doing. So it was amazing seeing that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
so much. And I'm looking forward to all your other presentations, especially now that you're feeling a lot better after all the
Yeah, no
uh
Mexican food from that restaurant for me.
but also the energy of what's been happening in America.
Yes. Yeah.
It's it's a very challenging time. So, but looking forward to your presentations that are coming up soon, later today. And
Yeah.
thank you so much. And I will be talking to you again very, very soon.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. It's been such a pleasure being a part of this beautiful event. Thank you.
We really are honored to have you with us.